forth from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Roses and perfume, 'cause I'm oh so lonely. I can't come to terms with the gloom. Said I'd be happy, so very snappy without you, but I was out of my head. If I'd only known I'd be lonely and so blue, I won't say the things that I said. Only your love can make me a blushing flower bed, like poinsettia in December. You turn me from green into red. I feel so blue without you. What to do without you? Come on over for Christmas. Come on over for Christmas. I've got to spend this Christmas with you. If I had one present every time that I wish for yours, I would not be content, although I'd be Santa Claus. When you are near, I feel all the cheer of the season, the laughter, the love, and the fun. You are my gift, give me a lift, you're my reason. I sing every Christmas morn. Only your love can make me a blushing flower bed, like poinsettia in December. You turn me from green into red. I feel so blue without you. What to do, boy, without you? Come on over for Christmas. Come on over for Christmas. I've got to spend this Christmas with you. If you don't bother and you don't come over this Christmas, my dear, I'll tear off my calendar and just pretend it's Easter. Come on over for Christmas. Come on over for Christmas. Come on over for Christmas this year.
It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Oh, yes, and of course, that is exactly what we intend to do. Each and every day, we do our best to make sure we start your day right. So let me say a very special good morning to everybody, wherever you may be. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. And just in case you're wondering where here is, well, this is New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And of course, you know, guess what? We take you above and beyond. Yeah. So good to be in your company on this beautiful Monday morning. Giving God thanks and praises for life. So let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. All that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing, honor to you. TNT, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good morning. People who are streaming all around the globe, different time slots. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for being here. Of course, it's a Monday, and of course, we welcome everybody to the Get Up and Go. Everybody, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Where am I? I'm here. Where is Net Radio?
Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, where he is. Anyway, good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe, especially those up and down South and Latin America. Special good morning to you all. All right, we're happy to be in the land of the living. Let me get my birthday greet. Well, you know, Richard had play this weekend, but he didn't indicate he won't be here. But he may very well just turn up today, you know. So let me just.
Well, we hope for the best. We hope for the best.
Yeah, because we have a very special guest on. Is it retired Commander Dindial?
Lieutenant Commander, Norman Dindial.
Commander Dindial. We will be speaking about what's happening in the Caribbean with all this build-up and all this nervousness. And I saw an interview, I don't know if you saw it, with President Donald Trump last evening, saying that he may be having talks with Mr. Maduro. Did you see that?
He will be?
Yes. He said talks are going. We speaking to him, and it was a kind of conflicting message. But I'll try to find it, although I'm sure somebody will send it to me. I saw it on Facebook, social media last night, and I said, okay. Because that's the first time he has said anything like that. I don't think it was AI. You know, it didn't come across as AI, but he did say something like talks with Mr. Maduro. So I said, and that came out of the mouth of President Trump. You know, so I'm sure a lot of people saw it. So if anybody has it, are you ready? Send it for me. I could send it for Sir Charles, so we could play it. You know, because that gives people a kind of hope. Because a lot of people are nervous, eh? A lot of people are
Yeah,
nervous,
yeah. I mean,
you know.
you can't help
About-
but be nervous, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we are in a position where we can't even imagine what really takes place if a war breaks out.
No,
Where the bomb shelters are, what are we going to do? All those different things, you know.
no,
Yeah, so
and I mean, whilst we are not directly involved in the war or the potential war, we are not directly involved. We have been fingered as an ally, as a partner, and as somebody who will, who will, who will be treated as such. We have been fingered like that. So it's nerve-wracking for Trinidadians and Tobagonians, I guess. It's nerve-wracking as to what could happen if something does happen. I don't know how else to put it over. You know what I mean? But it's nerve-wracking. I have to tell you that. You know. Anyway, let me get my birthday greetings out of the way so Charles could do good news. Lou Noal, well, she's really Luan Muking. Hi, Luan. Happy birthday. You are one of those wannabe Librans I know who is in fact a proud Scorpion. Lord, she's a proud Scorpion. Happy birthday, Luan. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Kevin James, he posts a lot on Facebook. Tracy Lewis, she's out there at Mount Hope Hospital. Esther Madison and Pamela, you're supposed to know Tracy well, and Dave Kisto, who is the brother of Robert Christo, who is that Catholic priest who always does things different. So it's Robert and Dave. They were the two brothers. Both grew up in St. James, Clarence Street in St. James. So happy birthday, Dave. And Charlene Clark, and also Noel Long, who is my cousin. He's the owner of B&M Homemade Ice Cream in St. James. Very popular ice cream, very successful ice cream business. Happy birthday, Noel, aka Maka. All right? Those are my birthdays for today.
yeah, plenty birthdays today, man.
Not really. There's about 6 of them. Yeah, about 6. It's just that I know most of them personally.
Right.
You know, so I do a little extra for them, especially Luan. And Luan?
I don't have any birthdays until later on in the week.
Yeah, well, my son's birthday is at the very end of the week now. He, as I say, he and my grandson are a week apart, the 14th and the 21st.
Yeah. So your son and my son also celebrated on that day.
Look at that.
Coincidental.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get into good news, and we will be back.
Sure.
To love deeply and to forgive freely. Let us make peace with others and ourselves. Life is too short. Excellent message for everyone. Birth is given by others, your name is given by others, your income is given by others, your respect is given by others, even your first and last bath will be given by others. After death, your property, your clothes, your precious belongings, and even your most loved possessions will all be taken and shared by others. Your funeral will be arranged by others. Your final prayers will be said by others. The grave will be dug by others, and the tears that fall will come from others. In the end, you will realize that everything you once called yours actually belonged to the people around you. Still, we fight, argue, and carry unnecessary ego, pride, and hatred throughout our short time on Earth. We waste our energy trying to prove that we are better, richer, or more powerful than others, forgetting that life itself is temporary and that nothing truly belongs to us. So, let us learn to live humbly, to love deeply, and to forgive freely. Let us make peace with others and ourselves. Life is too short to carry anger, jealousy, or ego. Live simply, love generously, and leave behind kindness that others will remember long after you are gone.
Okay, so that is the good news message for today, Wendell.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
Excellent
all the
news.
things that we fight for, that we hate each other for, that we feel that we must have. And at the end of it all, it comes to nothing. You have to leave all that, and that is the end of that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
live good,
I know.
enjoy the life that you have.
Yeah. I know there are two things that people will feel they must have up until the end of their days. Believe it or not, it's two businesses that I've always thought about, but I see a lot of young people engaged in it. One is barber saloon. People feel they must have a haircut until the day they die. And a coffee shop. People feel they must have a cup of coffee until the day they die. So if you're out there and you're thinking about a business, do a barber shop or a coffee shop. There's two things people feel they must have. They are addicted to: a haircut and a cup of coffee. Right? If you never got advice from me before on a business, because I'm sure I said this on video before, do either one of those two things. Open a barber shop or a coffee shop. All right? Thank you. And you could. You can send a little bit of the profit for me when you're ready, right?
Pretty good advice. Let me say thanks to Michael out there in Long Island. Michael sent me that good news more than a week ago.
Okay.
You know? But I told him, I said, I'm not in control of good news when the boss are wrong now.
Richard, both boss.
Boss. That's a good one. Yeah, so I said, okay, when he's not here, I'll try and see what I can sneak in.
Yeah.
So,
But when I get them to, I send them to the chat, because I would have gotten one from Dean Allen, I think over the weekend, that I sent also to with creating these urban spaces and so on, designing these spaces, because that's what he does, you know. So Dean, hopefully Richard will get around to playing your good news one of these more, or Sir Charles could sneak it in the morning when he's not around, right?
Yes. Maybe some other morning when he's late on his
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're like the little mischievous child when your parents going out. You know, that's the time you get to do all kind of thing in the house.
And also he would be saying, "Oh, John Charles will talk all morning." So let's do that. Greet the people in the stream.
Let's greet the people in the stream.
All right. Valerie Mendoza came in at 11:58 again last evening. Margaret Thomas, Eunice Dublin, Ava Smith says, "Blessed morning, Richard Wendell and Sir Charles." Brennan Smith also says, "Good morning to the breakfast crew." I think they must be typing from the same thing. No. One is 307 and one 328. They're not typing from the same laptop. Just teasing, eh? Felix Kazo, good morning, gentlemen. Bridget Buchanan also says, "Blessings and good morning," all the way from New Jersey. Suzanne Jessup also says, "God Almighty and His Son Jesus Christ." Blessings to Richard Wendell and Sir Charles from Suzanne, Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma. All right, Boy BDC from Daybay says, "Good morning." Jossie Richardson, Marlon Motley, good morning. Odell Guy from Sangre Kenny in Harlem says, "Good morning." Michael Cadet, Alistair Hart from San Fernando, he was in St. Martin the other day. "Good morning, guys. I'm so upset. Why would the PM call our culture noise?" Is that what she did? She said that?
What did she do?
She called our culture noise? Did she use those words to describe what, pan or carnival? I didn't hear it. I didn't see it.
I don't know what it is. So I can't comment on it. Yeah.
All right. I'm sure somebody had sent it. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr says, "Good morning. Have a marvelous Monday." Erica Charles, Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach, where they had a little snow the other day. Imagine that in Florida. Doreen Pierre, Black Panther Row. I don't know this name at all. With a name like that, I ought to be real careful.
You gotta be careful.
Black Panther Row.
We'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye
on you, especially typing in caps already. We have to keep a close eye on you. Slick Money Grip, good morning, gentlemen. Diane Payne says, "Good morning, guys." Trini Mull Kitchen from Oshawa, Ontario, where I think there was expected to be snow again today. Carol Guevara says, "Blessed and beautiful morning." Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Gavin Frank, Powder Magazine. Nicola McNichols says, "Good morning." You know, I don't know if people are aware. Sometimes when you type a message, it comes up twice. the identical message comes up twice. For some people, it happens. It happens with Scorpion Pepper quite a bit. Yeah, their messages, the exact same message comes up twice. Dave Gosign, Carol Guevara is singing. That was Marilyn Williams, not so, Sir Charles?
Who's that?
Who sang that song?
Yes.
Marilyn Williams. She has a beautiful
Poinsettia.
voice. Yeah, she has a beautiful voice. Alison Haynes says, good morning. God is totally in charge. Sandrina Bag and Charles Lambert, Bruce from El Dorado. Prabha Ramdial says, good morning all. Richard, I was at the play on Saturday. Great job as always. All right. Yeah, Richard is a hard worker when it comes to his theater. Eh? Trust me. I don't think he works hard otherwise, but you see theater, wow, he really puts out a lot. Carla Hercules, James Kamau, Rena Boodoo Jennings from Piggy Valley, Debbie Modeste, our wine winner, can't forget Debbie, Sherma Paul, Kathy and Charles from Cascade, and Arlene in Bronxville, Texas. Good morning. Manuela Peter, Kathy and Charles, what about that worthless guy who you're friends with in that gym? Manuela Peters, David McCarthy, top of the day and a magical Monday to all terrific trio. Joyce Phillips, Diana Hamill, Susie B, that's Susie Billwin, old lady, who's a regular blogger now. It was on YouTube. Remember, he lies. He said Maduro was. Yeah, I saw it, on old lady. You probably try to get the video. Good morning from Bernadette Yates, Bernadette and Melissa Yates, Michael Robinson, that's Manish from Yokohama, Japan. Mrs. R. Thanks.
Hey, Mr. R. on the inside.
Who is that there? Well, I don't know who she referring to there. Chris Toussaint, Grand Rising, Wendell, don't be fingering this early Monday morning. Fingering? What did I do? Scorpion Pepper, good morning, sunshine. CJ from New York, Miguel Gonzalez, Sankofa says, blessings for his mom who celebrated her 90th birthday yesterday. All right.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Happy
19, that's a long time,
Yeah, 19. Happy birthday, Mama Grandison, from your beautiful children and grandchildren, of course. She has 2 sets of twins. That's a blessing itself. Old lady says, bless morning all. He is an awesome priest. That's Robert Christo. Okay. That's from Mrs. R. Yes, he is an awesome priest. He is. He grew up in an awesome place. Sankofa said, don't forget mom's 90th. Okay. Yes, Wendell, there's a clip of him talking to press in West Palm Beach. I just saw it. That confirms, she's confirming that thing I saw with President Trump. Helen Prescott, good morning. That good news is so true. That's from CJ. Correct is right. Life is too short to carry anger and hatred. I try. Well, I don't carry hatred, but I get angry sometimes, and I have good reason to be sometimes. Ozzy Molino, good morning. TNT, Marlon Motley, excellent news. Michael Oliver, good morning. Maduro won't talk. It's about time. Want to talk. It's about time. Okay. Thanks for the reminder, Sir Charles. Not necessarily the coffee. Scorpion Pepper, no. People are addicted to coffee all over the world. You will go and see a coffee shop, always with someone in it.
Yeah, so that tells you it's a large amount of them.
Yeah. There's no discrimination when it comes to coffee.
I like coffee, but I don't think I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, people can't say that coffee from so and that coffee from there. Coffee from all over.
And people drink coffee whole day, and every day.
Yeah. People can't help but drink coffee. Scorpion Pepper is saying, I think we owe Zena an apology. Is that for the movement of the heavy equipment that had the place abuzz? We were just teasing Zena, trust me, because I saw a video of trucks moving heavy equipment somewhere. I didn't know where it was. I'd seen it before, but we tease Zena a lot. If Zena don't like that, she loves it.
But they also had one of the videos that they were circulating. I saw it the week before. It was that was going into Caranage. Somebody from coming out, a driver, and now they take that same video and they put a female voice in. Yes.
Okay.
I said people are mischievous too. Sometimes yeah.
Yeah. They do that. When you see a bad weather in Trinidad, they pull back videos from long ago it had flooded.
Yeah. Everything,
Anyway, let me just finish up here. Margarita Chow, Beauty Culture, Florence Bazi, Donald Trump is on the chat today, so he may be able to confirm. Colted Finch says good morning. David Wares, Wendell, the issues is getting good coffee. There are many coffee shops and only very few often. But boy, coffee for me is black. So my coffee always good. I don't want it with no milk. I don't want it with no sugar. I don't want nothing in it. It's always black. So my coffee always good.
Yeah, well, they can hardly spoil that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't spoil a black coffee.
Probably only the amount of coffee that they put in it. But if they spoil black coffee, they're real good.
20-something odd years ago, I used when I joined the radio station, and I would go upstairs and with Richard Raghubar Singh to have coffee. I would used to use milk and sugar, and he said, "What are you doing? No, stop that! Get away! Stop that milk! Stop that sugar! Drink it black." It was hard for me, but guess what? I acquired a taste, and now I don't drink anything else but black coffee because of that man called Richard Raghubar Singh.
Wow. Not me. If I drink in coffee, I want milk and sugar. And I want condensed milk too.
No, I can't. I think I don't do milk or sugar at all again since. So, yeah, but black coffee is a savior sometimes for me. Trust me. Right? Yeah. So those are all the greetings. Of course,
that's what you got.
Yeah, and Apollonus, last person's jump in. Last new person jump in. Apollonus sends greetings. All right. So those are my greetings.
All right, so let's see who we have on the WhatsApp joining us. Let me say good morning to Kent out there in Laventel, always very early on this chat. So good morning to you, sir. Colin and Kelly out there in Carenage. Good day to you, power couple. Good morning to Ricky Mao. I'm looking forward to the song, Ricky. Suzanne, good morning to you. CJ out there in New York, good morning to you. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada, good morning. Fifi, our Sappy winner from yesterday out there in Addis Ababa. And Captain Ron in Orlando, good day to you. Mr. Beeps, people down in Pity Valley. Margaret Thomas, Frank out there in Aruka. Zena is up very early on the chat also. And of course, all our friends who are tuning in on Gael Caribbean, very special good morning to all of you. And you can, how do we get Gael people inside? You can send a WhatsApp, right? 2811315. We'll say good morning to you wherever you are. Or you can join the YouTube feed and send a message there too. Yeah.
Mama Grandison has 12 children, 25 grands. Some of them sure need to start making some more. 15 great grands and counting. 12 children with 25 grands, that's a low count.
Something.
And but they need to fix that. The woman some more grandchildren.
Anyhow, we are going for the break, and when we come back, we will do our headlines and all the other things that we do in between there, right? So we will be back.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
Oh, how I wish I were a child again, where poinsettias keep reminding you.
Christmas is family.
A Christmas gift of love. It's the kind of gift a man enjoys.
Christmas is love.
Have a Merry Christmas, my dear, and have a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas from all of us here at New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising, so you too can say Merry Christmas.
Before we get into the newspapers, let me just send out a quick birthday greeting to Naomi, or Naomi, depends. The granddaughter of Deborah Noel Surratt, who is celebrating her birthday today. She didn't say how old she is, but happy birthday, Naomi. All right, from your grandmommy, Deborah Noel Surratt. That's a new name on our chat also. All right.
Yeah. Excellent. Before you go there also, let me just say to all those who are on the streams and listening to us, and you have a product that you would like to advertise for the Christmas period, it makes no sense you have all this great product and nobody knows about it. So contact us here and let's see if we can get your product outside there. Small, medium, large, bring it, and we will advertise it. We put it in front of thousands of persons every day for you right here on The Breakfast Show. Okay?
Yeah, because people are flooding into Furniture Plus and those other places that we advertise as we speak.
Yeah.
Furniture Plus, Charmflair Auto Services, and all the other places that we advertise. Manu's always have a steady line. They didn't need us to have a steady line, but they have a steadier line now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, and when you go into Furniture Plus, ask for Amjad Ali, who's the owner, or Kavita. Ask for them by name, you know what I mean? And tell them the breakfast show sent you. You understand? When you go by tablet or two, say Gary Adge. Gary Adge is his name. He's a decent little cricketer too. He was my skipper in Queen's Park. He's a decent cricketer. Ask for him, one of the most affable guys you'll meet. You understand? Ask for them personally and they'll greet you. Just tell them the breakfast show sent you. All right? All right, so today's Express, today, of course, is Monday, November 17th. Did I get that date correct?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, a decade of failure. That's one of the stories. That's a story about the Ministry of Housing and the Minister of Housing. Moms in Need, West Indies Under-19s Claim Series opener. Some other trending stories in today's Express. Woman flung from car, executed on street. What's that story?
That was something else.
Yeah, CARICOM diplomatic order under strain. I think that's a story coming out from St. Vincent. American tariff relief for Trinidad and Tobago. PM welcomes U.S. Marines. Woman flung from car, executed on street. Those are all trending stories. And of course, those are all trending stories, all right? A lot more trending, but those are the items.
As the Express, right? Well, let me do the Guardian, and you could probably check out the news in the meantime, right?
Sure. Mhm.
All right. So let's me tell you what's going on in the Guardian for day. PM welcomes U.S. Marines. MEU begins joint drills with Defense Force as USS Ford enters Caribbean Sea. And there's another story. 4 more fishermen abducted. US $20,000 ransom demanded. Watching these fishermen, boy. These fishermen. All right, okay. Let me leave it for now. Trump lifts tariffs on TNT fertilizers after high-level talks. Professor Knight urges TNT to weigh the cost of U.S. Marine training. Okay, I had to get into that story. San Fernando Supreme Court to reopen, says Chief Justice, and 100,000 waiting on homes, says Housing Minister. All right.
All right, we go straight into the news day, Monday, November 17th. Policeman calls for backup after being thrown out casino. What's that story about?
They throw the policeman out the casino.
Out the casino?
Yeah.
I'll click on that story after.
Yeah.
Make cutting grass priority. Lyman cop's car with bulletproof vest and bags stolen. Still letting these things happen. 1 critical, 2 injured in Sando drive-by shooting. 3 killed in Eastern Pacific U.S. 21st airstrike. World's largest military aircraft carrier now in Caribbean Sea. And bringing compassion back to Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know how, but I wish you luck in doing that. All right, so those are the trending stories in today's news day. So that's all our newspapers today. So Charles?
Yeah. A lot of stories all over.
Mm-hmm.
So, right.
Of course, the issue of the military buildup in Trinidad and Tobago, I think that was part of the news conferences over the last few days, where sometimes you get conflicting messages coming out of the government, but all the same, there is a military buildup. The Attorney General, I think, confirmed that there is some joint exercises between Trinidad and the United States. So, I mean, couldn't they just have told us all this all the time, that these are things that are going to be happening instead of being surprised by it? But we'll see where it all goes in the days and weeks ahead, because I thought by now surely something would have given, but nothing has happened as yet. All I know that U.S. buildup in the Caribbean is awesome. It is mind-boggling. It's probably the first that something like this has ever happened in the Caribbean. I'm almost certain that it is the first time something like this has ever happened. So we'll see where it all goes, people. But I know it has a lot of people nervous and jumpy.
Yeah. And now that main ship seems to be in place, maybe that is why you were hearing the talks going to take place now.
Yeah, because
he's talking about the President Trump and stuff, because maybe what they need to put in place is now in place.
Well, yeah. Because with a ship and resources like that, one has the Gerald Ford. I mean, that could finish off any and everybody. But you see, the problem in Trinidad and Tobago is that where do we stand? That they're going to deal with Venezuela, no doubt about that. You understand? Venezuela may not have an answer for them. You understand? Depending on because they talk about Russia and China being involved in what's happening in Venezuela. We don't know how true that is. But if Venezuela have to depend on their resources to deal with what America has put in place there, I don't know that they stand a chance. The problem with Trinidad and Tobago is that Venezuela sees us as a target, so they may not even be fighting back with America. They may just try to be, how I should put it, take out their rage on us, and that's where the fear comes in. That's why people are nervous, But let's take some calls.
All right, well, we see if we can craft a poll in the meantime now.
Yeah.
About all the things that have been happening outside there.
Yes.
Yeah, so people, we are here, and you can call us at 281-1315. That's 281-1315, or 299-5156. That's 299-5156. Let me see if I can get up the numbers for you guys there. Right, so the lines are open to you, and you can join the discussion. And well, we have not seen Richard for the morning as yet. I didn't realize I said as yet. We still have hopes. We are looking out for him, right?
He must be so sweet. He must be up there counting money still or something, or either counting or drinking anything. He must be feeling so good now that the season has ended. They must be celebrate way into the.
Well, they still have one more. Remember, they still they have to go south this weekend, I think. No,
What? No, he done. He ain't done.
No, that's why the other day when he was making my son, I remember I told him, "Is this the final last?" Because they are going. I think they're going supper this weekend. Yeah, I think they're going.
I thought he done.
No, they're south. They're finishing in south. So for south, maybe. Anyhow, let's go to the
want to buy the country or what?
Well, who knows? Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Mr. Grant.
Get up before people like to make sure I get in earlier from.
Yes,
all the best, Richard and Wendell.
Morning, sir.
I just my daughter birthday.
Okay. All right.
Now listen. Let's this thing we're going on with this American thing. I get since 1 o'clock, I can't go back out and I'm watching the news. This kind of artillery these people bring down here. When I watch that ship, you can't tell me you can bring it out for extra time. This woman lying to weed, sober, and they're taking me to picture and you know what's going to be the place boy in there. I wish I could talk about anything else because I see my time. You can't tell
but be responsible with your time anyhow, okay?
Huh?
Be responsible with your time anyhow.
Yeah, I was responsible.
Right.
I'm responsible. But you cannot tell me, lying to me in my face as a big man who went to school and have common sense and see all the things that about exercise. We just want to exercise already with the military. Yesterday, if you paper, so many military men say they want to give you no information because when they do an exercise like this, they have to read up whoever soldier might be Indian. They get nothing for ration and all this kind of thing. You lying to me, man. You put it straight in the face and tell me, oh God, man, I have common sense. I just lying on top of the mobile day because my wife is in Venezuela. We're stupid. And you have big people here taking that for the gospel truth. It's hurting me. Anyhow, I hope for the best.
Okay.
We have to get the pictures on the radio, man. We have to guard your license. But it's my lie, man. This is one of the here shirting post Attorney General, post Prime Minister, post this one. And she's going to be the first to bring this country in jeopardy. All right, I go on.
All right, okay. Mr. Grant, go back and get some rest.
Yes.
Mr. Grant, we cannot respond to what the U.S. does outside there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are done. We are so caught up in this thing. I don't know what we could do to pull out now. We can't. We just have to hope for the best.
That's something. Something real bad. Anyhow, Raymond, good morning.
Hi, good morning to Charles, Manuel, Richard.
Morning, sir.
I share the sentiments of the previous caller. They're really taking us for fools. And it's better they don't say anything, don't go to any press conference and say anything. Trinidadians are intelligent people. We have a lot of educated people here. And when you see what goes on in the Southern Caribbean and things, talking about is them destroy drugs, there's a lot of crap they're feeding to the people. Come out and tell us the truth. If you don't want to go into the specific case, it is because X, Y, and Z, they are here, and so on, so is the case. But let not be hard be trouble because we don't want to get too involved in the thing. But don't keep feeding us after that crap all the time, telling us this, that, the other exercise, and what equipment that we have that they have to win and this kind of thing. It does not make any sense.
Raymond, Raymond,
yeah.
let me ask you a question, right? What it is that you say that they should be telling us? What do you think they should be saying to us?
Tell us the truth about the reason for the buildup in the Southern Caribbean.
But not even the US who have it, they're telling us that. So how we can make that? We can say that.
So then what we supposed to do? Just continue to listen.
Well, that's what I said. We don't. No, I understand. I understand what you would like. I don't feel I don't understand. But what I'm saying is that if the people who bring it and have it, not even telling us what they're going to do or what it is, they're still saying one thing. How we could say something else?
Well, then why have a drill with these people if they not telling anything and we don't know anything?
No,
why invite them here to have a drill with our people?
Yeah, well, remember, as I say, and all that, we don't know that what is going on. But if they're saying it is because of their strength and the capabilities of the defense force, we don't know why they want it, But we have to accept it as this. We can't force people to say something like that. But anyhow, I think they have a press conference today. The former Prime Minister have a press conference today,
Oh yes, Dr. Rowley. Okay, I think he might be addressing the Ralph Gonzalez issue more than likely.
Yeah,
I feel is that he called that up.
Prime Minister wouldn't get involved in this kind of thing, because he wouldn't want to undermine these people. He wouldn't know the reason why they're here. But the whole long and short about it is Trinidad and Tobago hoping to see if they can access Venezuela oil via the US and hope the US could do something that could benefit them. That's the whole long and short about it.
That's it. You're right there. That's it in a nutshell right there.
Anyhow, Raymond, thanks much.
We hoping that the US could change the government in Venezuela so we could benefit. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, KB. So sunny again.
KB is in the house.
Yes, good to hear your voice, Mr. Charles, Mr. Wendell. Good to hear your voice this morning, man. I'm trying to get you a little while, but I was wrong. So I must thank you all for the morning. I really appreciate hearing your voice in the morning. At least early morning time. I wake up call now. What I wanted to talk about is this session thing, boy. I don't understand why they keep getting rid of these fishermen. I don't know what's happening in the waters. If it's something that's attacking the Caribbean areas, or these guys are doing drug trafficking and they get rid of them. But it's sad to know it's true. But nevertheless, condolences to the family, and I'm just locked on hearing your voice. I'm taking a little walk right now. So have a blessed day, fellas, and take your lessons. Right?
Yeah. No problem. Thanks very much. That's why I hear all that noise in the background. I was wondering what was going on there with KB, but he exercised on this morning. That's a good thing, KB. Good morning, caller, Princess Song.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
I want to comment on the presence of the aircraft carrier in the Southern Caribbean Sea. Recently, the British, they have 2 aircraft carriers, and one just made a trip around the world, basically. Passing through certain areas, it went to Australia, it passed through the Straits of Taiwan, it went off the Japanese coast, close to Russia. And all these were identified as significant military posture in them, in that they didn't get any reaction from China when they passed close to Taiwan. They didn't get a reaction from Russia, but it's in that context I look at this. This has nothing to do with drugs. And somehow our many citizens, because of the politics, would take a position similar to the government, and that's very irrational. Recently I heard Mr. Munilal say that the Dragon deal was still on. that suggests to me that he is looking at regime change, taking into context the fact that the Venezuelan government, the present government, has suspended all energy negotiations and arrangements with Trinidad and Tobago. So if he's talking about the Dragon deal, clearly it would be another administration other than the one in office at this point in time, you know. So when I look at it, there's a lot of dishonesty in the politics and the diplomacy or lack of it and the whole regional situation. And I think we need to kind of wake up and face the facts, you know. It's here for a purpose. It has nothing to do with drugs. We have to look on, and as Mendel said, because of our flirting with the concept of regime change and what the US might have in mind, we have put ourselves in a fairly vulnerable position, if not now, in the long term, because no one can say that the present government will not be in office at a future time. In other words, not this present government, but another one with a similar antagonistic approach to the US. Then, you know.
Yeah.
I just end by saying this: we tend to blame Mr. Maduro, but at the end of the day, the same sanctions that our present government was calling to be imposed on Dr. Rowley and Trinidad and Tobago, it would have had a similar effect in that people would start to flee once the economic circumstance becomes challenging. And that's where Venezuela is. They didn't choose the sanctions. And that's where Cuba is also. You know, so we have to be realistic about these things. It's about American hegemony. We could dance, we could twist, we could what? They exerting the power for economic and military control of the region. Have a good day.
Yeah, take care. Very sober contribution. Thanks for that. You know, because America ain't spending all that money because they're not in any war, right? But they're spending a whole lot of money to deploy the Armada in a Caribbean for what? You know, somebody somewhere along the line is for their benefit, you know. They ain't care about nobody else. You really feel America care that Trinidad and Tobago need a gas deal signed?
Interest.
Or this one needs something. Do you really, them care about them alone? Yeah. And Trump has made that very clear. He is about the Americans who support him. That's it.
Yeah. But I myself, let me make it clear in case people don't understand. I personally, I feel that is exactly all that you all have been saying, right? But what I was just trying to get the caller to understand is that as the head and a government, even if they are aligning themselves in a particular way, they are in no position, you know, like they say, I can't, like you're speaking out of your turn. You know, I think the last prime minister said that to somebody, you're talking out of turn or something like that. They can't talk out of turn. You understand? So even though, yes, we may all feel that way and we looking at it, and obviously, you understand, you're taking a sledgehammer to kill ants, which is, if it's narco you're talking about, right? So yeah, but I don't think people expect that the government of itself, even if that is the case, before the Americans say that is what they are doing, our government will say something like that.
So I don't think you're wrong, you know. I think you might be right that our government who don't even have a clue what's going on. You might be very right about that.
I feel they know exactly what's going on, but they just can't. They just they're not at liberty to say them things.
I don't think they will also know exactly what's going on, because I don't know that Marco Rubio or Donald Trump or anything picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, we're doing so and so and so." They're just sending out people with orders. People just taking orders.
Yeah. At that particular point in time and day, they would not probably even know. They would probably their soldiers on the ground might know that before. Might have that information.
They have been trained to carry out orders. End the story. That's it.
End the story. Caller, good morning to you. Thanks for holding. Caller?
Hello?
No, good morning, then.
Morning, caller.
I don't. One first thing.
The place, the country stinks. Like we live in our forest right now. Anywhere you go in the country, it's only bush. Grass going onto the road we are now too, which is a hazard for drivers, especially in the night time. First thing about that, place just stink. The next thing is the issue with the Venezuela and the US. What's happening in Venezuela? I don't think I just want to say that I hope the government not taking the people of Trinidad to be as fools. I don't believe that. Because first to begin, you talk about drug running and whatnot. All that Navy access out there right now. You think you need all that for drugs? Come on, man. And I squarely why the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago have us in this position of not neutrality where this issue is constantly in Venezuela and the US. I am sure 90% of the people at Trinidad and Tobago does not agree of the stance the government has taken where that is concerned. And one of them, I'm very, 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 very concerned for myself, my future Trinidadians of what is happening right now. So I put sole responsibility of what's happening of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, not the people. Thank you very much.
Okay. So Charles, check your poll. You have 2 polls up. Is that the top one we need? Yeah, you know, thanks for that contribution, sir. I lost my train of thought now because I was going to say something, you know, about all that's happening.
I told you so. Let me take the call then, and then I'll fix the poll too. Hello, good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Morning, Zina.
Good morning, Wanda.
Morning, Zina.
I'm Richard under your pen and blanket. UNC, whichever one. Morning to all Lockdown and especially my powder puff girls. Listen to me. Well, you laugh at me Friday. You know the thing, what is very annoying is that the Prime Minister keep telling people to be calm and making it look like if nothing ain't going on. I think that is the provoking thing when they very well know what is taking place. And as the caller before the last said, I think it's Mr. Point or
Princess
wherever,
Stone.
they say what I heard too about Moonilal talking about by December before the year end about oil and gas. Listen to me. They keeping one head. They telling themselves they know what is as that is regime change that is going to take place, and that whoever they put there, they go to get license to go and get the people oil. But let me let them know that the devil has his friends. That even if America invaded Venezuela to get that gentleman, he have his people, you know, and his soldiers. They are going to create civil war there, and it's nothing new that didn't happen in this part of the region already, because they came there and plugged up Panama. A Panamanian woman told me the whole story. That time I was holidaying in America. That is why she ran there. She said the amount of thousands of people got killed in Panama just to get out. Was it who? Noriega? Some one of the men and them that they told already to carry aboard. You plunder any country because they are going to create civil war. It will have his fraction against the whoever is the opposition. And they're not going to sit down quiet and take a regime change for America to do what they want. So it is not going to be nice no matter how you take it.
True.
You understand?
That's
so
true.
all this thing, and when I tell you, the people say what passed through Sandy Grande, they put in they aligning themselves all around the country because it has certain points that is the closest to
certain key
Venezuela, and that
points.
is why I say people saw what they saw, and they know that thing is that preparation is taking place. So we not fools. They're going to tell us to stay calm and nothing is happening and all that. But America decide that there's going to be regime change according to the movements I seen. I feel that is my feeling. That
All right.
is what they're doing.
Okay.
And narco-trafficking was just a
Yeah,
excuse.
an excuse. Yeah.
Right? That is the whole long and short of that. And that is my feeling. I could be
All right.
wrong, but I know something is up. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Folks, our poll is up. Do you believe the U.S. military buildup will result in an attack against Venezuela? Keep your votes, yes or no. Say that at the beginning and you could make your comments after. As we go for news, do you believe the U.S. military buildup will result in an attack against Venezuela? All right, when we come back, we have our guest, Lieutenant Commander Dindial. He will speak about exactly what we are polling about. All right?
And trust me, he has plenty to say.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
Good day, everybody. This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers says the United States is assisting Trinidad and Tobago in its fight against illegal drugs and ammunition, not using the country as a base to spy on Venezuela. Sobers confirmed that U.S. Marines from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit will be in Trinidad from November 16th to 21st for joint training with the Defense Force. He stressed the exercise has nothing to do with any military action and forms part of long-standing cooperation with the U.S. He said the drills will help sharpen local capacity as the country continues to battle gun violence and transnational crime, noting that recent U.S.-led operations have reduced the flow of high-powered weapons and ammunition. Sobers dismissed claims that the exercise is a front for intelligence gathering and insisted Trinidad and Tobago is not being used as a launching pad for U.S. operations. He said the goal is simply to strengthen security and give the TTDF the training it needs to tackle criminals. Chief Justice Ronnie Budusing says improving the speed of justice will be one of his top priorities, warning that citizens are waiting far too long for their cases to be heard. Speaking at the Law Association's annual dinner on Friday, the Chief Justice said he intends to create a more efficient, high-performing judiciary that delivers value for taxpayers. He stressed that while technology has helped since the pandemic, justice also requires in-person hearings, and several long-closed court buildings must be reopened quickly. Budusing said the Court of Appeal will return to the Hall of Justice early next year, freeing space for the family court and reducing delays. He's also pushing to restore the San Fernando Supreme Court by 2026. Law Association President Lynette Seabaran-Sweet warned that bar associations worldwide are facing unprecedented political pressure and urged Trinidad and Tobago to safeguard the independence of its legal institutions. The Customs and Excise Division has seized more than $11 million worth of illegal drugs in 4 separate interceptions over the past week. In a release issued on November 15th, the division said officers confiscated nearly 39 kilograms of marijuana, 8 ampules of fentanyl, 1 vial of ketamine, and over half a kilogram of MDMA. The marijuana carries an estimated street value of $9.7 million, while the MDMA is worth just over $1.5 million. Customs says the successful operations underscore its commitment to protecting Trinidad and Tobago's borders from the illegal drug trade and other forms of smuggling that threaten public health and national security. It added that intelligence-led strategies, advanced screening, and strong interagency cooperation continue to play a key role. Several suspects were arrested and have already appeared in court, but investigations remain ongoing. There are reasonable grounds to believe that services billed under the Life Sport program were never fully carried out or not done at all. That's according to Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Richard Corbett of the TTPS White Collar Crime Division in a letter requesting mutual legal assistance as investigations continue. ACP Corbett said investigators are probing several public officials and contractors for conspiracy to defraud the state, obtaining money under false pretenses, misbehavior in public office, corruption offenses, larceny, and even conspiracy to murder. He said evidence suggests key individuals conspired to create a system that allowed surplus funds to be skimmed off through false invoices for goods and services that were never supplied. The Life Sport program received more than $440 million in budgetary allocations. The letter also noted widespread mismanagement, including ghost participants collecting stipends, coordinators linked to gangs, and threats against staff. Investigators have already traveled abroad and interviewed key witness Ruth Marchin as the probe moves toward possible criminal charges. In regional news, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is warning that Trinidad and Tobago's joint military drills with the United States could threaten peace in the Caribbean. This follows T&T Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers' announcement that the U.S. Marine Corps' 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit will conduct training exercises with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force from November 16th to 21st. Speaking at a political event in Miranda State, Maduro accused T&T of allowing irresponsible military exercises near Venezuelan waters and urged citizens in eastern states to mobilize and remain on alert. He also repeated claims that the U.S. seeks to seize Venezuela's oil and gas resources. The comments come amid escalating diplomatic tensions between Port of Spain and Caracas, with Venezuela recently declaring T&T's prime minister persona non grata and suspending all energy negotiations. Finally, in international news, at least 120 people, including 100 police officers, were injured in Mexico City during violent clashes at large anti-government protests on Saturday. Thousands marched against rising violent crime and the leadership of President Claudia Sheinbaum. The demonstrations, also held in other cities, were led mainly by Gen Z youth groups and fueled by public outrage over recent high-profile killings, including the assassination of Uruapan Mayor Carlos Manzo earlier this month. Protesters tore down sections of a barrier outside the National Palace, prompting police to fire tear gas. 20 people were arrested for robbery and assault. President Sheinbaum, who maintains approval ratings above 70%, accused right-wing politicians of financing the protests and claims the event was promoted by online bots. She faces growing criticism over nationwide violence, even as she pledges targeted action against cartels. And that's your main stories at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The Mid-Morning Mix and Mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
When you walked out on me, you said I couldn't
only time you ever seem to care. I got music in my soul now. I don't need you anymore.
Everybody, welcome back. And of course, yes, this is hour number 2 of the breakfast show. That's happening here on New Era TT Radio. Net Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We're taking you above and beyond. And let me say good morning to the folks out in Gael, Caribbean, that are picking us up all around the Caribbean via Gael channel. So thank you so much, Gael. And all you Gael people, remember you can get involved, right? Send your messages, answer to the poll. And just to let you know, people, that when we come off of the Gael feed, that's around 8:20, somewhere around there this morning, you can listen to us on newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio. Put it in your browser. You get us on TuneIn, and you also get us on all your Google and Alexa devices, yeah? Just to let you know that for all the folks on the YouTube and Facebook channel, your next engagement will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon with the Drive Time Exchange with Tony Fraser. And we also have God Thomas coming in at 11 o'clock today. Yeah, every cent counts, right? So remember, like, subscribe to our channels because we need to push those numbers up, and also hit the support buttons on our channels also. So our morning poll: do you believe the U.S. military buildup will result in an attack against Venezuela? Remember, you're voting yes or no, and then you put your comments, okay? We also have our guests on the other side of the break. So you know what? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So, call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising, so you too can say Merry Christmas.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Chamflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Chamflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
Laughing children tug at Mr. Santa. Teddy bears.
Feel the laughter, the lights, the love. That's what Christmas feels like.
Christmas Eve, casually I was walking down the street. One Christmas Eve, casually
We keep the joy alive and the music playing all season long. Merry Christmas from your friends at New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond.
All right, we are back from our 7 o'clock news, and we have a poll up, people. So keep voting on the poll until we get our guest in. Do you believe the U.S. military buildup will result in an attack against Venezuela? All right, that's our poll. So let's get those numbers coming in. And just a reminder, people, that Galen and DJ Shane will be at Rumbox this coming Friday. Let's hope there are no hiccups.
No more build-up square.
No more build-up. No more war. So that DJ Shade could come and do the thing to entertain a few of us. Eh? Where is it?
Yeah. So the live is on this Friday.
This Friday. All right.
Wow, 21st already of the month, yes?
I'm telling you. So you ready for votes, Sir Charles?
Yeah.
All right. So D-Mark says no. Scorpion, that yes is for something else. Jacqueline Linfat says yes. Trini gets fit, yes. A lot of chat here. Sankofa says no. Lester Cragwell, no. A deal will be struck. Kazim Mohammed, yes. Wendy and James, there will be no war. So I guess that's a no. Marcia Rock says yes. Melchizedek didn't vote. Margaret Thomas, yes. Carol Guevara, yes. Melchizedek now votes yes. Old Lady, yes. Rena Boodoo Jennings, yes. Alistair Hart, yes. Ray Nelson, yes. Michael Oliver, no. Claire Lendor Rollins, yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Wendy and James, no. Ava Smith, yes. Bernadette Yates, yes. Michael Cadet, yes. Apollinaus, yes. Brennan Smith, yes. Michael Oliver already voted no. Michael, you can't vote again. Josie Richardson, no. Bridget Buchanan, yes. Scorpion Pepper now votes. She said no. There will be dialogue and mediation. Again, the message comes twice. Susan Jessup, yes. Michael Oliver is voting for the third time, so but we only counted it once. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, yes. Slick Money Grip, yes. Sankofa already voted, but he's chatting away here. Edwin Joseph, yes. Diane Payne, yes. I have to skim through these things now. James Kamau, yes. Trump has to justify the money he's spending for the biggest aircraft carrier in the world. You're sure right. I believe so too. I believe he had to justify the money, but I still didn't think that they would
I wonder
attack.
where it was before.
True, eh? You know, nobody didn't say where it came from.
They don't ever let you know where they are, you know.
Yeah. But we know where they are now.
Yeah,
Joseph Clement says no. Beauty Culture says yes. Coated Finch, yes. Miguel Gonzalez, yes. Julia Farrell, no. Michael Robinson from Yokohama says yes. Derek Duncan, yes. Scorpion Pepper saying I may not be in the country on the 21st. Again, your message is doubling up, Scorpion Pepper. I don't know if you ever realize that. It comes twice, the same message. Trini Merle Kitchen says yes. Transipasad. Taran Sipasad. Oh, he had to separate the syllables when these names mixed up like that.
What did Karen say?
Sipasad says no. Taran says no.
All right.
Classic Brother, no. DKB, who is Derek Billion, says yes. Miles Walcott says no. Miles, you had to do some extra prayers. You and Robert Crystal. Lester Cragwell didn't vote. Nadia says no. Oh, that's my sister. Scorpion Pepper. Well, and Charles Duncan says yes. So those are the votes I have on the chat.
Okay.
I don't know what you have.
Yeah, I have
and then maybe
surprisingly, I didn't have much on the WhatsApp today. But let me tell you what we have on the WhatsApp anyhow. Let me just make sure. Right. So we had Brenda saying yes. Susanna already and then vote. Zena says yes. Linda says no. Frank says yes. Sandra says no. Laverne says yes. So those are the people that we have on the chat. I have Pauline saying no. Sean saying no. Anand saying no. All right. So that's what I have. So right. So we had 55 people on the chat. Right, 55 on the chat. 35 of them said yes, and 20 of them said no.
Well, close. Well, I mean, it was not runaway for anybody.
No.
Yeah. So. And let's welcome as our co-host this morning. Joins us. His hands are very tired from counting and is from lifting bottles. So good morning and welcome to the breakfast show, Richard.
Lifting bottles.
Yeah,
lifting bottles came into it.
Oh, yeah, the voice.
No. Good morning, guys, and good morning to our listeners and viewers across the planet. You can hear my voice.
Yes, we figure you work very hard. So just to finalize our poll results, 55 people voted, 35 said yes, and 20 said no. All right. I don't know. I don't know what to think again. I don't know how to make out what's going on, I can't see them bringing all those things just to talk.
Well, we have a guest that can weigh in on it. So.
Yeah. So
all right.
Go ahead, Richard.
At this point, we can bring in the guest, not so, Sir Charles.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Yeah.
So good morning, Lieutenant Commander Norman Dindial, and welcome to the Breakfast Show, and we are so glad that you took the time to speak with us this morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
But I suppose we can start off with the poll.
Hi, morning, Commander Dindial.
I know you would have seen the voting of the poll and how people were voting on it.
Yes.
What's your take?
Well, the question we have to, you see that question you asked there, we have to understand the dynamics in it, the real crux of the matter. Why is Venezuela so important to the United States? You know, I did a little video on it. I don't know if a few gentlemen had a chance to look at it. But
yes, we did.
We have to see. Good. So we have to say it plainly. And I know everybody is tippy-toeing around it. And my philosophy right now is keeping it simple and truthful. We have to come out and say the correct things at some point in time. We can't be dancing behind the scenes and fooling the public. So basically, let's find out why why Venezuela is so important to the US. And it is not about drugs. We have to say that it's not about drugs. It is not about the drug cartel or the gunboats and it. It is about regime change. And in my video, I delved a little bit into it to explain that it is about resources. It is about the US afraid of China and Russia in their backyard. This is their hemisphere. You even hear Mark Rubio and the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary of War stating on his Twitter platform that this is they stress on it, this is our hemisphere. So the US looks at this as their place, so this is their background, and they're seeing the influence that China and Russia is having here. So with this buildup, this whole buildup is to collect the resources, one of Venezuela, and to control the sea and air lanes. So when you control the sea and air lanes, you will be controlling that whole China Belt Initiative, the whole thing that is happening with Russia. So it is deep, and the US cannot or does not want to see China and Russia in their backyard. And as they say, when they say they're talking about the US backyard. Think about it. The US could have helped Haiti, but they don't. The reason they don't want to help Haiti is because there's no resources in Haiti for them to take. The places that the US goes is where it benefits the US policy. So when the US went into Panama, they went into Panama for no reason because the Panama Canal. Those are the things. Panama. They went into Colombia, but Colombia, their influence in the area, they always need a partner to support their policy. And if you see BRICS is coming into Latin America, you see an isolation there happening, where the US now is recognizing that they are losing their grip on the world. So if we put that in perspective and recognize that this has nothing to do with the drugs coming into Trinidad and Tobago, or coming in Trinidad and Tobago and being shipped out anywhere else, or the alleged drugs leaving Venezuela. It has to deal with Venezuelan oil and gas and the influence Russia and China is having within this region and the control of the sea and air lanes to that. With this buildup and the control, they can put more pressure on Venezuela. Sanctions. Once they control that, things cannot come in and out of it. So simply, you can't get things coming into Venezuela. So it's more economic sanctions are going to be forced into Venezuela. So the question asking that, if we think that there's eventually going to be a strike, the US has tried to sanction Venezuela for so long and to get Chavez out. And Chavez hasn't been moved. Maduro is there now, hasn't been moved. So this is their last push. And this is a big push. This is a last push here in order to stop anything coming. So it's a military blockade by A and C. With this fails to get Maduro out, definitely with the buildup, there is going to be a movement to get Mr. Maduro out of.
So do you think?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to get to the point because you're talking about regime change.
Yes.
So do you think that the objective is achievable? Because Maduro, and if you're going from Chavez onto Maduro, has been very defiant in terms of no regime change. And of course, he does have a certain amount of support in Venezuela.
Correct.
So correct. Is that objective achievable without war?
So this is where the buildup is important. This is their last push to see if it can be done peacefully by actually making sure that there is a military blockade around Venezuela by sea and by air. So nothing can come into Venezuela. So they're going to squeeze Venezuela. The last the last out of Venezuela economically. So Venezuela is not going to be able to, as I say, get the toilet paper, have anything. So all the trade with Venezuela is going to have to be done through the back door, through Brazil, through the BRICS countries, and through through that back door, that corridor in the back. Because if you look at where Venezuela is situated, Colombia has already sided with Venezuela. And at the south you have Brazil, and on the east you have Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. That's why Trinidad and Tobago is so important for the US to have an actor that is friendly to the US policy within the region. So if this does not speak, if this last push fails, definitely you're going to see some sort of action within the region. You don't bring an aircraft carrier and project that amount of force in the region without using it. And this aircraft carrier, you all asked, the aircraft carrier came in from it was in the Mediterranean, and it moved from the Mediterranean and came in into the Atlantic area. Now you have people asking, Mr. Trump right now is facing the polls, his local polls in the US. His numbers are declining. But does he really care? This is his last term. It's 4 years. He's going to do what he's going to do, and you're seeing he's doing it domestically in the US. He's doing what he wants to do. So if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to do it. We have these, and we have all these these smoke and mirrors things being built up by the US. The US has done this so long. They talk about even in Iraq or Iraq, whatever they want to call it, we're still looking for weapons of mass destruction. They will give you something in order to move. So if this blockade fails, something is going to. So we have to be looking on the horizon what they're going to do. They're going to look for some excuse to move in. Definitely.
Well, obviously the US is militarily stronger than Venezuela, but the players you have involved behind the scenes in terms of Russia and China, from a geopolitical point of view, how determined do you think Russia and China are about protecting whatever interests they have in the region in getting very involved if it was to become a conflict?
So what we have seen from Reuters is the Russian backed forces have been coming into Venezuela and supporting them. But oil from Venezuela is going to Russia, and oil from Venezuela is going to China, and they have invested heavily in it. So once you invest heavily into it, you have an interest also, and these are the global powers that have interest in Venezuela, and they are the only people that are helping Venezuela as it stands. Venezuela is not getting any help from any. They are sanctioned by the Monroe Doctrine, big stick policy, our hemisphere. So they are going to defend their interests. So that is why I'm saying the proxy war that's taking place right now is where they're standing off to see who's going to give in. So right now they're facing off. But Venezuela can't face out on their own. Venezuela needs the support of China and Russia. And China and Russia definitely has said, and they have shown it. They have sent in military equipment. They have sent in support by engineers and stuff to help to bring back the degrading weaponry and aircraft that Venezuela have back to service. And they have given them air defense systems. We don't know yet what has passed through Brazil and coming on the inside, but if we are to believe what the Venezuelans are reporting, they are getting the support from China and Russia.
Yeah.
US is going to have to take, they're looking at that. They're looking at that because they're not going to go all out war just like that or all out invasion. They need an excuse. They have pushed Maduro by hitting the so-called drug and narco terrorists in his areas or in international waters without law enforcement. It is not a law enforcement exercise, a military exercise that they have been doing. And it is extrajudicial killings. I'll say it openly. It is extrajudicial killing. It is against the United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas, and it is against the ICC. It is against all the regulations. But the fact is that the US are not signatories to UNCLOS. Out of the 177 nations, the US is not a signatory to it. And the US is not a signatory also to the ICC. So they do not see international law. US law is might. So the Monroe Doctrine and the Big Stick Principle still takes precedence up to today. And we can see it happening in our backyard. So everybody's talking about the SOFA agreement. The SOFA agreement, I think Suniti Maharaj did an article on Sunday's Express, and it was quite well articulated. It gives you the basics of what the SOFA is. But the SOFA really tells you what the SOFA does is it indemnifies the US military and their troops and anybody that's working with the US military in your backyard or in your territory, that the US law is supreme. So if a soldier does something, your domestic law. So let's just say a soldier murders someone. You have no jurisdiction. Your domestic, your law does not take precedence. The US laws takes precedence in the SOFA. So it protects them. That's the basis of the SOFA. For their troops to be indemnified, and the people that are working once it's on this agreement, to be indemnified from everything. What we need to find out about the SOFA law, the SOFA agreement, is what was really signed, and what if and how much troops can stay here, or if they can use Trinidad and Tobago as a launching pad for anything.
Yeah. Commander Dindial, how then do you see this affecting Trinidad and Tobago at the end of the day, with our clear support for the U.S. intervention?
Well, Trinidad and Tobago has already hitched their wagon to the U.S. We have switched our wagon supporting the U.S. when internationally and regionally. So let's even start regionally. Regionally, CARICOM has already said that we are a zone of peace. We signed on to the CELAC convention that we are a zone of peace. We wanted to keep the Caribbean region a region without nuclear weapons, without nuclear ships passing through here, nuclear waste, and also weapons of mass destruction. We're standing alone. We have broken that from CARICOM. And apart, we even see international United Nations have already condemned the US on what the US is doing. Their partners, one of the biggest partners, the UK. The UK has withdrawn their intelligence aspect, or the intelligence gathering information that they share with the US, because they recognize that if they do that because UK is signatory to the international code, they can be drawn in by helping the US with extrajudicial killing. So we have aligned ourselves with a superpower that has broken all the international laws and conventions. That doesn't go well for us as a little country standing up with them. That puts us in a really bad state. And for us to now turn around and say we're neutral, our partners or our partner that we hitched our wagon with, that wagon already gone, we already on the US wagon. So we are part of it. So we become a proxy, we become a supporter of the US extrajudicial killings within the region. That does not go well for us. It does not at all. That puts us in a really bad position.
But countries always have interest. So what is the interest of the current administration in Trinidad and Tobago? What are Trinidad and Tobago's interests? Are they seeing as beneficial in hitching to the US?
The only thing that you can see the Trinidad and Tobago. Now, that's a very interesting question. And in what you would find out in staff college or staff course, once you go to New Naval War College and you understand how the US operates, the US will never fight a war or do anything in their own territory. It is always outside their territory. A war, anything that they want to do, any sort of conflict is fought outside the region. So if their interest is to move Maduro out of office because they want the oil and gas and they want Russia and China out of the area, they will try to do that outside anywhere else. What Trinidad and Tobago gets out of that? The only thing that you can see, one, is if they're benefiting from positioning yourself with the big bully. If the bully moves Maduro, you will be able to get some of your deals that you wanted to get done. The dragon gas deals that they're talking about. Maybe some other deals. Maybe, as you said, if they install a new leader in Venezuela, move some of the borders around, move some of the things, so the gas and oil will be able to flow better from into Trinidad and Tobago, and we benefit from that. That's the only thing that we can benefit from, and by partnering with the bully. The other thing, which is a theory, you have to you understand, and this is a deep theory, and I would say hypothetical theory right now. I don't want to if Trinidad or if the present administration had aligned themselves before. Gentlemen, let's go back. If you remember this present administration here, when the past administration was dealing with Maduro for the oil and gas, they went to the US stating that you have a sympathizer here in Trinidad and Tobago that is sympathizing with the Venezuelan regime. Well, we're happy with that, right? We understand, right? And they went to the US. We don't know what deal was struck there when they went to the US and what was promised. But what you can see is the build-up to the elections that happened in April. A lot of money was poured into that. And where did the money come from? And the propaganda that was pushed out, the propaganda is almost akin to how the DA and the CIA propaganda machine will push propaganda for a regime change. So maybe that the regime change in Trinidad and Tobago, this is the theory, in Trinidad and Tobago was not actually a regime change that we think that the actual UNC won the election on its own. The UNC won the election by proxy, the US for forcing a regime change in Trinidad and Tobago to have a sympathizer at the helm, because the last administration was seen as a sympathizer of the Maduro regime. So you move that regime and you put your sympathizer here. If your sympathizer here is now in power and the sympathizer is running the propaganda and the media rhetoric, obviously you are the ones that have to, you're beholden to them.
That one is difficult to prove.
It's difficult to prove, but it's a theory.
Yeah, that one is difficult to prove.
47% of the country didn't vote. So, I mean, according to statistics, so it was a low poll, and
it was a low poll. So localized. When you look at the figures locally, and you look at the numbers, you would see that the PNM withheld their votes, right? I don't want to go into that, but the PNM withheld their votes. However, if you look at the media propaganda and the money that was injected into it, it is a theory that I'm seeing. I'm not saying that it happened. It's very difficult to prove, but you can see right now, this is just one of the reasons that you can ask, what does Trinidad and Tobago have to benefit? So the one benefit is on it. What do we have to benefit?
Strange enough, Commander Dindial, that theory is also being proffered for what's happening in St. Vincent and Barbados upcoming. That same theory is also being proffered by some people, you know. But we'll see how it goes. But what do you think at the end of the day? I mean, because the issue of this being alleged drug boats, and I'm saying, but is it that drug people so stupid that they're going to still be sending boats out there to be blown to smithereens? I just couldn't understand it. What do you think is really taking place with those extrajudicial killings, as you coined them a while ago?
Well, this has nothing to do with law enforcement. The vessels that they had here were, let's just say we believe that it is drug boats moving contraband up the islands, illegal stuff. But the vessels that you had before was sufficient for it. Your destroyers and your cruisers and your drones, it was sufficient to blow them up. And let's just say we side with you that we were blowing them up. Fine, that's okay. There's no need to bring in a platform like an aircraft carrier. There's no need to bring in the Marine Expedition Unit. A Marine Expedition, I don't think people understand what the Marine Expedition Unit is. You know, the Marine Expedition Unit is a self-contained unit that has land and air capabilities, you know, and they are actually used to go into a country or go into an area of operation and hold it for follow-on forces to arrive. These are Marines. 22nd Marine, it's a highly skilled and specialized unit. that is right there. You don't need that for drug boats. You were doing that fine. You had the drug cut the Coast Guard cutters was in the area. You had the West Indian guard ship. You had the Dutch vessels. You had the French gendarmerie. Now, gentlemen, I don't know if you know. I was in charge of the ops and training in the Defense Force. I was the Assistant Chief Staff Officer for Operations and Training on the Defense Force. So this whole thing they talk about training that takes place. If we know this kind of training is going to take place, we would have known about this months in advance, and we plan it. We don't train during the hurricane season either. In fact, training has to be specific. And the thing is given to us by the Minister of Foreign Affairs that this training is about crime fighting and gangs. Crime fighting and gang criminal elements is held by the police. You don't train the military to do that because you're saying this is gang related. The problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago is that our police service, evidence collection. You don't need a military, especially a specialized force like the Marines. They come and train the defense force into helping you how to hold gangs, because we know who the gangs are. The government always said we know all the gangs. The problem with it is we can't get the evidence in order to bring it to court. So you need, if it really was about criminals, you would have brought in something like the FBI, the DEA, the National Guard, but not this heavy-handed thing at all. So they're trying to fool you. They're trying to fool you and fool the public. Crime.
Commander, let me ask you a question there, because when they was asking a question, which I found was very interesting, if that is as to what they were saying on the boats that are being blown up and all those sorts of stuff, why is it that traffickers will still be going in that direction if they know that they cannot pass through those areas and those boats that are being blown up? What do you feel that they are?
So you can see that they have stopped, right? They have stopped now. But traffickers not going to go and do that. They're not going to do it. And then sometimes, if it is possible, they have different routes. We know that the drug corridors, things don't really come up from Venezuela into Trinidad. The percentage is 14%. You have 67% that moves from Colombia up Panama into Belize and going through Mexico and going up into the US. So there are two theories there. Well, not two theories. There are two reasons that you may still see a boat going up the island. If that boat it's a vessel that is a decoy vessel. If the drug traffickers are willing to do that and sacrifice lives, there's a decoy vessel and things are still moving up through the corridor, through Panama, up on that corridor there. And it's just a decoy here. Or, as you say, it is simply smoke and mirrors. But real drug traffickers not going to send 2 tons of cocaine up the islands here to get blew up. $700 million, $500 million in US of goods. They're not going to do. So you're not going to see it happening anymore.
One other thing I'd like to ask you, because and I think that I read somewhere where the US is still sharing intelligence with the UK. I think I heard Mr. Rubio actually was making that statement. But aside from that, the present administration as it is, as you know, as people are expecting, and we're talking about, okay, and I myself, as I was saying earlier on, I believe that yes, there's a deeper something as to why the US has that armada outside there, and more things are coming into the region. Do you think that that any government would actually, even if our government is aligned, they will actually come out and more or less speak out a turn to say that is what is taking place? Or is it that they will do exactly what they are doing right now?
Well, no government is supposed to justify or support murder and extrajudicial killing. That's one. None. That is why the UK has pulled back the intelligence sharing with the US. Although Rubio said that on his Twitter page, hasn't been fact-checked. If you check what the UK has said, from the UK side, their defense section, the Department of Defense has said that they have definitely not checked. So we know what the UK is doing. No government in the world can do that. because you end up. I mean, it is wrong. It is wrong. It is you can't support it. You're not supposed to support it. And if you're supporting the wrong thing, and you will. And if you are signatories to the International Court of Justice, it will catch up with you at some point in time. It will, because you cannot. There's no evidence. There's no evidence. We were doing this before. So drug enforcement before, you could have stopped those vessels. You could have shut out the engines. You could have brought the people to justice. You could have bring the evidence, show them. You could have tracked every single thing there. In fact, gentlemen, I used to work also with the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. And when we do that, we follow the money. So you would stop the drug boats. You would check, you'd get the guys, you would interrogate them, you would get the information, you would see the markings on whatever the contraband is, and you would follow the money. When you follow the money, you would go down and you would see all the big syndicates. Sometimes we had drug busts and where we put syndicate down from Slovenia and Slovakia and stuff like that, international stuff. But why are you're killing the people on board, and you're getting rid of the evidence, so there's nowhere we can trace and find the money. So anybody take a cursory search, go up on the UNDC site or look at it, you would see it follow the money. You have the evidence, follow the money, you will get everybody in the picture. But we're not doing that.
Yeah.
All they're doing is carrying is stopping the mule, or so-called mule, the so-called trafficker. But we always talk about the big fish. The big fish gets in the way.
Yeah.
What the big fish? Because you may find out that some of the big fish or the big business people behind it, the importers and the exporters, are some big agencies with very well within the US and Europe.
So, Commander Dindial, is it that you think, I have two questions. One, do you think the US presence is long-term?
And the second question?
And the second question is, do you think that eventually there's going to be a return of a U.S. presence semi-permanently to Trinidad and Tobago? I think semi-permanently, because I'm not so sure how to phrase it.
Well, what we could only, the future changes, and especially with Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, as I said, is the art of the business, the art of the deal. He puts you, or he's running the US like a business, and he looks for the best way to get his opponent off and get the best deal for himself. So he will throw you off. We're not too sure of what he's going to do. What we could say right now is that the presence in the US presence in the region, it's about getting Mr. Maduro out, and it's about showing that power to the Russia and China that, listen, I don't want you in my backyard. I don't want you in my backyard. How long it takes for them to squeeze Venezuela is up to Maduro, and how Maduro is being supported by China and Russia. Because the country has they have to grow, they have to maintain themselves. So they would need resources, they would need things. So how China and Russia supports Venezuela in the future is left for us to see. And how that will play out for itself. The presence of the US in our region, they're going to stay. They're not moving anywhere. They already said it is our hemisphere, saying it is theirs, they have claimed it. They're not leaving, they don't want it. Now, although we can see that they are slipping away, they are losing it, it will only, in my opinion, and I'm giving my opinion, this would only change after Mr. Trump's term in office has come to an end. And I'm saying that because he only has 3 more years, and he will do whatever he has to do. He can't come back in office. He can't. And he has to show his base, his voter base, that, listen, he's doing the things that he promised. Just like our government is trying to prove to their voter base that they are giving the things that they promised. So it's about a promise. 4 years, they're going to be here. We have that SOFA agreement, which has no sunset clause. SOFA agreement allows for them to come into our area and work with us. We have a government, 5-year term government right now that has already hitched with the US. So the US is going to be here for the next 5 years. Our government has already said that. So whether it's training, exercise, or whatever deal they promise them, they're going to be here for the next 5 years. So hopefully we will not be going back to a place where we're going to be giving them back Shagaramas and Wallerfield and Toko and that and giving back up our sovereignty and bases like that, because we're not in our all-out war. But let's to see what the administration says. And hopefully also the Trinidadians will recognize that, listen, we didn't fight for our independence. Yes, our independence was given to us. We didn't fight for our democracy, but we have been giving up our democracy slowly by living in a perpetual state of emergency. So even if I want to go and protest, I can't go and protest. I can't do anything right now. I have to wait for that state of emergency is lifted for me to say anything, to go out there and for our voices to be heard, to come out and we saw the silent protest last week Sunday, I think. But you can't really protest. You can't come out and march. You can't come and do anything. So you have been muzzled. And people don't understand that a defense force personnel can come into my yard and arrest me without a warrant. We are living in a perpetual state of emergency where we have given the powers to the extra powers to the police force and powers to the defense force to come and do what they want. People have been detained, but no one has been charged, or very few people have been charged. And that's what I'm saying when we come back to this fast about training going on right now with the defense force in order for crime fighting. It has nothing to do with that, because we're detaining people, but we're not charging anybody. When they lift the state of emergency, what's going to happen? People are going to go back out on the street. We know who the gang people are. They're not collecting any evidence. Nothing. I mean, gentlemen, it is plain to see, it's just that nobody wants to come out and say it. I'm taking the opportunity to come out and say it because I know at some point in time I'm going to be badgered. People are going to say, well, I do agree with you. That's fine. Everybody have their opinion, but it's clear. We have to be very careful as Trinidad and Tobago on the things we do, because we don't want to be collateral damage. Everywhere that you have seen the US have entered on the guise of helping, you have seen what has happened. Vietnam, Panama, you've seen what has happened. We don't want to end up like that at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we've been talking that talk on a morning here, but we don't have the expertise and the experience that you would have had over the years in terms of how you dealt with these situations. So hopefully, I don't know if that anybody will listen. I don't know what we're going to learn from all this, but we could just hope for the best.
We can, and interestingly enough, I was on a podcast, I think last week on Friday, and I was speaking to a young teacher on the podcast, and she was saying to us, that our education system, we were talking about where the roots of crime is and where it comes on education and where the parents are not involved. And she was saying that when our education system became free, because there's no value attached, you have parents not going home and looking at their children and seeing what they did. They did their homework, or they did what they're supposed to do because they're not paying for it. So the value attached is not there. So you know when you work for something, your value attached more. You give your children a car or your kids a car, because they didn't work for the car, they don't see the value in it. Same thing happens to us. We have gotten our independence. We didn't fight for independence. We don't know the value of our independence. And maybe it's about time, because we're losing it now, we'll have to start fighting for it to recognize the value our independence is and the value that we have in our democracy. And maybe it's a good in disguise. But I hope we don't reach that stage where we actually have to do that and fight for it. I am fighting for it now. I want to let us stay with our independence and democracy. I don't want to reach that stage, gentlemen.
Last question, Commander Dindial. If war was to, some sort of conflict was to break out, is Trinidad and Tobago a target?
Well, that's a simple question. The enemy of the enemy is my friend, and the enemy and the friend of my enemy is my enemy. So, if I am thinking that you are here, you become belligerent in the access. You become party to it. So I think that you have a base here, and you are supporting my enemy to attack me. And the only sort of weapons I have that could reach out and touch, I reach out and touch my enemy's friend, person who's supporting my enemy.
Sad but true.
And if Trinidad and Tobago was ever to be attacked, and let's hope that never happens, but if that was to happen, is there a political cost to the UNC for that?
You see, and I'll use this word liberally if you allow me. There are sycophants on both sides, right? And we don't have people here that sit in Trinidad and Tobago and actually use discrimination and think. We look at what you have. You have this show here. You have people giving the information, and I'm trying to give this information and the facts unbiased as I can. So but people can have to go back and look at it and for themselves. Go search, go on Google and do what you need to do. Ask the questions. But Trinidadians as a whole, we don't do that. We take song bites, and whatever song bites we get, the rhetoric, and we use that. Now that is a piece of propaganda that is used by the US military when they're doing propaganda and they're using media communication. They do that. They do that internationally. They get people on board that way. So you hear the song bites. And I don't want to digress. We saw what happened with the Prime Minister, Mr. Gonzalez, and the information is there. You see, the things was on the open market, but people still don't want to believe the facts. So what is given to Trinidadians is what Trinidadians. We're not a fickle society. We are a society that wants everything done for us. We want change, but we want everybody to change it for us. We want everybody to do it for us. We want people so whatever you give me and you tell me is right, I take that. And the bigger, the louder the tone. So when you have these verbose and boisterous elements behind, who are talking about, and they come out and they give you this, and they have their followers, the sycophant followers on both sides. They go with it. Unfortunately, they don't discern. They don't sit down and have an intellectual conversation and find out what is the right thing. Hopefully, sir, I hope that with these podcasts and these things, people will understand and we will be able to reach more individuals in Trinidad and Tobago. And I will say we have this, we talk about referendum, and we said Trinidad and Tobago, we don't have a referendum in our constitution. We don't do that because politicians, once they have the majority, they will never change it because they know we are first past the post. So, once you have more seats, that's all right. I don't have to have more people voting for me. And here's another thing, gentlemen, I think you all could look. Why is it that we still have why we don't remove parliamentary privilege? Why you could go in parliament? If you look at the parliament channel and look at the debate, the Speaker of the House can tell you he cannot compel anyone in the House to answer any question. He can tell you that. All he goes about is by the rules of the House rules. And to maintain a certain amount of decency. But people can say what they want in parliament without any question. You could defame anybody, you could have to say the right thing. If you remove that parliamentary privilege, it will force parliamentarians and ministers to actually do research and come and say the correct thing in parliament. But nobody wants that. Think about it.
Nobody's going to do that.
Richard's been talking that for a while now.
Commander, we want to thank you very much for your input this morning.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. I'm willing to speak to you, speak to the public about this and with you all again. As I said, I've been with the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. I'm also on the roster for the Security Council and Affairs Division. That's the political side. With the UN, I was also the Assistant Chief Staff Officer of Operations within the Defense Force. So I know about operations and training and what is taking place and what is they do. I know some of my colleagues are going to reach out to me and they are going to be persecuted by sharing some insights and other information. But so be it. Somebody have to stand up for the people of the land.
Totally agree.
Thank you very much for being on the program this morning.
Thanks a lot,
Commander. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Commander. All right, that was retired Lieutenant Commander Norman Dindial. We'll go to our news now, and then when we come back, we'll close off. All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
Good day, everybody. This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers says the United States is assisting Trinidad and Tobago in its fight against illegal drugs and ammunition, not using the country as a base to spy on Venezuela. Sobers confirmed that U.S. Marines from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit will be in Trinidad from November 16th to 21st for joint training with the Defense Force. He stressed the exercise has nothing to do with any military action and forms part of long-standing cooperation with the U.S. He said the drills will help sharpen local capacity as the country continues to battle gun violence and transnational crime, noting that recent U.S.-led operations have reduced the flow of high-powered weapons and ammunition. Sobers dismissed claims that the exercise is a front for intelligence gathering and insisted Trinidad and Tobago is not being used as a launching pad for U.S. operations. He said the goal is simply to strengthen security and give the TTDF the training it needs to tackle criminals. Chief Justice Rani Budusing says improving the speed of justice will be one of his top priorities, warning that citizens are waiting far too long for their cases to be heard. Speaking at the Law Association's annual dinner on Friday, the Chief Justice said he intends to create a more efficient, high-performing judiciary that delivers value for taxpayers. He stressed that while technology has helped since the pandemic, justice also requires in-person hearings, and several long-closed court buildings must be reopened quickly. Budusing said the Court of Appeal will return to the Hall of Justice early next year, freeing space for the family court and reducing delays. He's also pushing to restore the San Fernando Supreme Court by 2026. Law Association President Lynette Seabaran-Sweet warned that bar associations worldwide are facing unprecedented political pressure, and urged Trinidad and Tobago to safeguard the independence of its legal institutions. The Customs and Excise Division has seized more than $11 million worth of illegal drugs in 4 separate interceptions over the past week. In a release issued on November 15th, the division said officers confiscated nearly 39 kilograms of marijuana, 8 ampules of fentanyl, 1 vial of ketamine, and over half a kilogram of MDMA. The marijuana carries an estimated street value of $9.7 million, while the MDMA is worth just over $1.5 million. Customs says the successful operations underscore its commitment to protecting Trinidad and Tobago's borders from the illegal drug trade and other forms of smuggling that threaten public health and national security. It added that intelligence-led strategies, advanced screening, and strong interagency cooperation continue to play a key role. Several suspects were arrested and have already appeared in court, but investigations remain ongoing. There are reasonable grounds to believe that services billed under the Life Sport program were never fully carried out or not done at all. That's according to Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Richard Corbett of the TTPS White Collar Crime Division, in a letter requesting mutual legal assistance as investigations continue. ACP Corbett said investigators are probing several public officials and contractors for conspiracy to defraud the state, obtaining money under false pretenses, misbehavior in public office, corruption offenses, larceny, and even conspiracy to murder. He said evidence suggests key individuals conspired to create a system that allowed surplus funds to be skimmed off through false invoices for goods and services that were never supplied. The Life Sport program received more than $440 million in budgetary allocations. The letter also noted widespread mismanagement, including ghost participants collecting stipends, coordinators linked to gangs, and threats against staff. Investigators have already traveled abroad and interviewed key witness Ruth Marchin as the probe moves toward possible criminal charges. In regional news, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro is warning that Trinidad and Tobago's joint military drills with the United States could threaten peace in the Caribbean. This follows T&T Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers' announcement that the U.S. Marine Corps' 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit will conduct training exercises with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force from November 16th to 21st. Speaking at a political event in Miranda State, Maduro accused T&T of allowing irresponsible military exercises near Venezuelan waters and urged citizens in eastern states to mobilize and remain on alert. He also repeated claims that the U.S. seeks to seize Venezuela's oil and gas resources. The comments come amid escalating diplomatic tensions between Port of Spain and Caracas, with Venezuela recently declaring T&T's Prime Minister persona non grata and suspending all energy negotiations. Finally, in international news, at least 120 people, including 100 police officers, were injured in Mexico City during violent clashes at large anti-government protests on Saturday. Thousands marched against rising violent crime and the leadership of President Claudia Sheinbaum. The demonstrations, also held in other cities, were led mainly by Gen Z youth groups and fueled by public outrage over recent high-profile killings, including the assassination of Uruapan Mayor Carlos Manzo earlier this month. Protesters tore down sections of a barrier outside the National Palace, prompting police to fire tear gas. 20 people were arrested for robbery and assault. President Sheinbaum, who maintains approval ratings above 70%, accused right-wing politicians of financing the protests and claims the event was promoted by online bots. She faces growing criticism over nationwide violence, even as she pledges targeted action against cartels. And that's your main stories at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So, call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising so you too can say Merry Christmas!
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
The other day I went Venezuela and I fall in love with a señorita. I hardly know the lingo, but I really know what she know.
It's a time for giving, caring, and sharing.
It's things like this that get me mad. Who stole the rubbish from my yard?
A time for loving and remembering what really matters most. Greater than from our family to yours, Merry Christmas and a blessed season from New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
All right. You know, I'm now reading a little biography on Danny DeVito, one of my favorite actors. I mean, I used to binge watch Taxi. Danny DeVito, of course, is a little man. They said when he entered Hollywood, and he walked into the room with all these well-established actors, people acting. And everybody, of course, is everybody taller than Danny DeVito. I don't know if there's anybody shorter than Danny DeVito. And he said, all right, so which one of you is playing the tall guy? The whole room burst into laughter. You know what I mean? But he really was like how I should put it, a special person who passed through Hollywood, in terms of his size. He and Joe Pesci, these two little men with this big mouth, you understand? But they really were are fantastic actors, you know.
He died or something? Or?
No. I just reading the story of him now, you know, because how old is he now?
About 18.
Yeah, he has to be a pretty
It
good
has to
age.
be 80 or 81 or something like that.
Yeah. But he really was. I mean, anybody who watched Taxi, you just had to watch Taxi and see how he dealt with that. You know? Excellent actor.
Excellent.
You know? And he was the penguin in Batman, remember? He was the penguin. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Folks, thanks for the people who would have chatted during the course of our interview, and who took the information that was provided by retired Commander Norman Dindial. You know, but I mean, he's been saying a lot of things. He said a lot of things that people have been saying, you know, in terms of their interpretation of what's going on. So we'll just have to wait. I mean,
I don't know that I agree with the theory.
The election theory.
Yes, the election.
Yeah, that one hard to prove, but I've heard it.
That the U.S. wanted regime change in Trinidad. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard it, but again, I don't put much credence on it, simply because the PNM voters, most of their supporters, just decided they're not voting for the PNM. I don't know how the US could have influenced that.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So, but that's a theory out there, and it's building also, coming up to the Vincentian elections and the Barbados elections. I told someone though I don't see it happening in those places because they don't have the mix, they don't have the diversity that we have. You understand? They don't have those issues, you know. So I don't see it happening. But we'll see what goes on. We have more things to worry about than what's happening in St. Vincent and Barbados. Of course, this weekend is open house for Victoria Keys. You all go down there. As I say, I wish Ralph Gonzalez take the whole family down there and barb the whole building and put up a Vincentian flag on it.
Aside from all of that, on a community note, there is going to be a fundraiser taking place on the 28th of November at the lobby in Paris Suites, and it is a fundraiser for a gentleman named as Marty. He's a cancer patient, Kevin Ferreira, aka Marty. So go out and support it. It's happening on the 28th of November at the lobby in Paria Suites. And you can get your tickets there and support this worthy fundraiser.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is where we wrap it up.
Go and rest your voice. Go and rest your voice.
So we're wrapping up the breakfast show this morning at this point. Thank you for choosing us. We know you have choices, and we're glad you chose us.
Yeah. Go and drink some honey and lime. Turmeric. Not turmeric, what am I saying? Ginger. Yeah, turmeric too. Go and overdose on that and take and chill out, okay? You hear me? Folks, have a wonderful day.
You don't have any energy today, people. He's energy-less. So Miss Al, do not harass him today. He has no energy.
He's still waking up. Take care.
All right. Somebody comments in the section.
Was that your butler there?
No, I said I was looking at somebody comments in the section.
Yes.
On the interview now.
Yes.
Anyway, this is where we wrap it up in the breakfast show this morning. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
All right.
Have a good one, and we'll speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
And happy belated anniversary to Zena. 51 years yesterday. 51
wedding anniversary?
Yes.
Wedding anniversary? My God, they had to name this street after that man?
51 years. Wow.
What's his name? They should change the name of that street. They should petition the local government authority and change the name of that street after that man. And as a matter of fact, the surrounding streets too. You know, just need one street.
Remember the thing I sent you in the chat? I was probably reading it on morning, but I know I get people hungry.
Happy belated anniversary, Zena.
Yeah, Zena, enjoy your anniversary. Celebrate all week.
We need to interview that man and ask him what's the secret. He clearly has a secret. Anyway, good morning and happy anniversary.
That is longevity.
Darling husband. Zena has a green thumb. Either she or the husband. The plants look beautiful. She have all these ceramic pigs. You name it, Zena is a beautiful yard. Zena, well done. Happy anniversary, my dear. You know we love you.
Yeah, have a good one, Zena.
Yeah,
You're
take
probably
care.
still celebrating. All right, have a great one, people. This has been The Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned up.